Hey guys, we are back with some more New York Islanders franchise mode. In the last one, we got started with our simulation, and we're just going to continue here, as there's not really too much else to do. We will check the draft class, however. That is, instead of having to send the scout out every month, since we have scouts on automated right now, we will instead check the draft class at the end of every month to see the updates on that. So, nice. Generally good year for rookies, I would imagine, especially with Jack Hughes. So, Anaheim wants a fourth for Luke Shen and a sixth. No, thank you. Not doing any of those pointless trades right now. So, here we go. We have a 4-game losing streak to follow up our 5-game winning streak earlier in October. And yeah, our only win so far in November is against the Panthers on the 10th. And just not really a good month as of right now. So Devin Taves, Bridgeport, yeah, replace player. Only going to focus on the NHL for injuries, or if it's a one of our prospects, yeah, just continue. I don't think we care too much about Taves. He's probably got the AHL top 2 potential. So 2 wins so far in November, and it is almost done. As yeah, 3 wins in November for your New York Islanders. That is not a good month right there. 9-12-3 now with 21 points, and we are 7 points behind the Rangers. Okay. So Eberle currently leads the team in points, 23 in 24 games. Barzal, 22. Lee, 21. And then Bailey, Pulock. Yeah, that first line is going to be doing the majority of the heavy lifting this year. Bailey with 13. Pulock with 12. Filppula with 11, Beauvillier, Leddy, Komarov with 10, Ho-Sang with 9, Nelson and Ladd with 6, Cizikas with 5, Clutterbuck with 3, Hickey with 2, Boychuk'd with 2, Mayfield with 1, and then Kuhnhackl, Aho, and Pelech all with 0. Plus minus, Lee is a plus 6. Who's a minus here? Bailey, Ho-Sang, Komarov, Beauvillier, Mayfield, Ladd, Boychuk'd, and Filppula all minuses. Shots, Lee leads with 73 and a shooting percentage of 17.8. So Lee is definitely our best sniper there so far. 13 goals so far on the season for him in 24 games. And then assists, Barzal, of course, leads with 16. Power play points, let's see what's going on here. 4 for Filppula, 4 for Lee. I mean, power play is not going to be too great, obviously, since we don't have too many good offensive players besides Barzal and Lee, Eberle, and all of them. So, time on ice, I would imagine, yeah. Boychuk'd, Leddy. No point in really in checking that. Face-offs, let's see if we're doing better here. Beauvillier is doing much better. 51.5. Cizikas is doing much better. 51.1. Filppula is doing much better. 50.8. And Barzal, unfortunately, not doing too much better than what he was before. He was at a 44 before, and he is now at a 45.2. So a little bit better, but not by much. Hits, Pulock with 42, Lee with 40, Komarov with 38, Boychuk'd with 38, and Bailey with 37. Blocks, 49 for Pulock, 39 for Boychuk'd, 35 for Hickey, Leddy has 30, Mayfield 27, Pelech with 18, Beauvillier with 16. As a forward, that's pretty impressive there. As takeaways and giveaways, Barzal, Eberle, Ho-Sang, Filppula all have good ratios. Cizikas could be better. Lee has a good ratio there. Ladd has a good ratio. Boychuk'd, good for a defenseman. Bailey, pretty good. Leddy, it's going to happen. Beauvillier, wish he would be better. Komarov could be a lot better. Mayfield, it's going to happen. Defenseman. Clutterbuck, he could be a lot better. Hickey, Pulock, Pelech, again, gonna happen. Nelson could be better, so that is that. Let's see, fights so far from Ladd and Mayfield with 1 each. And then goaltending, we have Leonard with a 911 save percentage and a 923 for Greiss. 2 shutouts for Leonard in 7 wins, 10 losses in 19 games. So let's check on the AHL now, because we're interested in Soderstrom, 914 save percentage. We're also interested in Wallstrom with 25 points so far. What a beast. Let's see, who else are we interested in here? Bellows with 5 points in 13 games. Bodie Wild with 3 points in 13 games. And then Dalcole with 2 points in 13 games. I believe that's it. Yep, that is it for the AHL. So now, let us check the draft class, see if our scouts have any solid updates for us. I mean, we didn't really check it at all in the last episode, so we'll see what they have uncovered so far. So obviously Hughes is a franchise player, as you guys saw in the beginning of the last video. I mean, similar style, Wayne Gretzky. So Dustin Bowmeister is a medium elite offensive defenseman. Great puck mover, heavy slap shot, shutdown ability, and his weaknesses are lack size and reach. He is a similar style to PK Subban, so he could be interesting to go after if we, by chance, get the second overall pick. Capocacco, unknown. Krebs is a medium elite. Cozens is a medium top 6. Let's see, let's sort by potential here. Alright, so no one completely uncovered besides Hughes, Bowmeister, and Krebs in terms of elite players. What about top 6s? We got Cozens, nobody else. Top 9s, no one really. I mean, there's Harabik, there's Shurin as a fringe starter, so not really a whole lot of information in terms of prospects as of yet. So we'll just keep going here, and until we are able to get some decent information. And it looks like this is going to be a rebuilding year by the looks of our current record, 9-12-3. But that's fine. We knew that going in. Like, we kind of need to work on, at the very least, you know, I would say we need another center to complement Barzell, and then we need maybe an elite winger as well. I know we got Wallstrom, we've got Bellows, we've got, who else? I think that's it, actually. We've got Wallstrom and Bellows, but neither of those guys are really elite, so we definitely need that elite winger. So a solid second-line center, a solid first-line winger, and defenseman, really. We need an elite defenseman as well. So we still got a lot of work with this team to do before we even consider becoming competitive. So when would you guys say we begin unloading players? I mean, Nashville wants Filppula for a second and a third. We would have to give up our own third, though. So it's basically Filppula for a second. I'm not going to do that yet. That being said, though, we are at 500, 17-17-4. So I wonder if now would be a good time to start selling off players since we're halfway through the season, roughly. 39 points for Barzell. 38 for Eberle. So, I mean, that first line is going. That's honestly probably the only thing that's keeping us afloat right now. Bailey with 23 points, Filppula with 20. I'm not going to go through all this. I'll just show them briefly here. But it does look like we are going to be missing out on the playoffs this year, as this team is just highly inconsistent, and there's not, just plain and simple, not enough talent. As Leonard, his save percentage has actually gone up significantly since we last checked. 9-11 previously, now 9-21. So he has been playing actually very good as of late. 5 shutouts as well. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the stats every time we check the stats, because we check the stats like 3 times a video. But you know what? Let's check out the team stats just to see where is affecting the simulation the hardest. So if we take a look at goals for per game, where are we? We are 6th in the division with a 2.53. Goals against per game, we also are at 2.53. So that's actually the 4th best goals against average in the division. Okay, so power play is literally killing us. 11.5 power play. Yeah, that's rough. And then the penalty kill, the penalty kill's not too bad. Could be a lot better, though. So, and then in our last 10, we are 6-4. So where do we want to go from here? I think we'll go one more month just to see what's going to happen, because the first line is obviously going to carry this team. no matter what. And I don't think any changes that we make to the bottom 9 are going to do too much. So we'll just keep going here. We'll see what the simulation gives us, and if we by chance start stringing some wins together, then I guess we can make a playoff push. But I don't know. I don't see it, just because, again, there's just not really enough talent on this team. Now, okay, a Sharks first rounder and a third for Boychuk'd and Filppula. This could be a good opportunity to get rid of that Boychuk'd contract. After this year, there's still 3 years left on it, and he's like 35, isn't he? $6 million. Ooh, I might have to consider that. I mean, San Jose's picks are not going to be great at all. They're 32, 10, and 4, so they'll probably be, late first round. Boychuk'd is 34. Yeah, I mean, he's got 4 years left on that deal. He'll be 38 by the time it's over. I don't want to have that $6 million on the books for that long. And then Filppula, I mean, he's only got 1 year on his deal. What's Filppula's value looking like? All right, so it's around there. Yeah, you know what? This might be the only opportunity I have to trade Boychuk'd here, because that salary is going to be an anchor in the next few years, or over the next few years, I should say. How much salary would we have, though, if we traded Boychuk'd and Filppula? That's getting rid of 8.7. So we would have, is that how much salary we would have after we get rid of these two? The salary on the bottom, 15.7. You know what? Again, I feel like this might be the only opportunity I have to trade Boychuk'd, whose contract is not that great. Definitely not team friendly, so I think I'm going to pull the trigger right here. But I do want to see first if we could sneak another pick in there. Those are for 2020 as well. So you know what? That might actually not be a bad idea. Just given that sometimes in the simulation, at least in NHL 18, the Sharks tended to drop off pretty quickly just because of the age of Brent Burns and Marc-Edouard Vlasic. And then, of course, of Pavelski and Thornton. So, yeah, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. Maybe if I could sneak in a third for this year as well, I would definitely do that. Proposed trade rejected. Okay, fair enough. We'll go with the original offer here, San Jose. Boychuk'd and Filppula for a first and a third. There we go. Okay, solid. Got those two out of the way and got a couple of draft picks for next year, which are definitely welcome. Now, how many fours does that leave us with? Actually, let's check defenseman first, just because there's less. There's 6. Okay, so there's 12 forwards. Okay, solid. So, yeah, right, because we have the extra forward and the extra defenseman. So we are going to have to call up guys for injury, though. So we'll call up Helgeson and we'll call up Martin. There you go. All right, so let's not do best lines. We're going to do edit lines here. So I'm going to put Beauvillier on the second line, and then I guess, what's Nelson's face-off? 75. We'll put Nelson on the third line, and then fourth line will be Martin on the left wing there. Defensively, you got Leddy, Hickey, Pulock. Okay, so we're going to put Aho in here. We'll put Pulock up there, and then we'll put Pelech on the second line with Hickey. So I guess the rebuild is officially in effect with that trade of Boychuk'd and Filppula. So were they anywhere else? I don't believe. Okay. Aho is there. Right. Because we haven't seen Martin or Aho play. Well, I mean, I guess that might just be a glitch because their overalls and their positions aren't shown. So at first I thought that was part of the fog of war, but I guess our AHL team is, we have all the information on them as well. So, okay, that messed me up for a little bit there, but we are all set to go. I was looking for any line errors or something. So Bridgeport, don't want to do best lines down here just because of Del Cole, Bellows, and Wallstrom, and then Wild. So we will get Taves in on defense, and then need another forward here. Bork, Koivula, Turcotte, Holmstrom. And it's looking like it's going to be Bork or Sislo. Yeah, it'll be Sislo. 72 overall. Get in there, and then I'll put Laredo up here. I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's not a prospect. Okay, so 4-man power play. Fritz, Wallstrom, Benoit, Wotherspoon. I'll put Bodie Wild here. There you go. That should be it. Yep, that looks to be it. So, getting back to the simulation. And let's see. Of course, first game without Boychuk'd. Second game without Boychuk'd as well. We get 2 wins in a row against the Rangers, but 2 losses to follow it up. So we're definitely... and then 2 wins again. So we're going a little bit of back and forth pattern here. Win-win, loss-loss, win-win. Bowmeister, Byram is a medium elite as well. So if we get maybe the 4th pick, then Byram could be a good pickup. Kirby Dack. All right, let's see. Anybody else? Potential. So, Caden O'Mara. Hybrid goaltender. Not a very good save percentage. Only 5 games played. So that franchise tag might not be, accurate, but I will definitely keep my eye on him. Hutchinson. Jason Hutchinson, also a goaltender, so I'll keep my eye on him as well because we do need a goaltender. I mean, we do have Soderstrom, obviously, but, I prefer an elite potential goaltender to complement him. So Kyle Burrows has been injured. We'll just replace him. I don't think that's a good prospect. We haven't had any NHL injuries as of yet. I'm not going to trade Matt Martin. I think if I traded anybody else with an NHL contract, we would be below the cap floor. Delzato, no thanks. Don't need those veterans as of right now. 23, 22, and 4. So I think it's safe to say that I don't think we'll be making the playoffs. I mean, we could still technically make a push for a wild card, but Toronto and Buffalo are the wild card holders in the Atlantic. So I really don't think that's happening. So I think what we could do now is just start unloading players, honestly. Let's check the stats real quick. Barzell with 50 points. Eberle with 48. Lee with 37. Bailey with 35. Beauvillier with 25. Ladd with 21. See, these kinds of players we could unload. Ladd, Komarov. I mean, Komarov especially with that 4-year contract. Yikes. Letty, I mean, we could keep Letty, I think. At least for right now. He's not a priority to unload because he's 27 and he's 84 overall with 40 years remaining. So by the time his contract expires, I don't think he'll be dropping off just yet. So he's not a worry per se, but if we could get a good value for him, then I would definitely consider trading him. But the main guys who I think I want to trade would be Clutterbuck for sure. Yeah. 3.5 for 4 years. Oh my. Okay, so hold on. Let me write these down as I don't think these are trades that we'll be making at the trade deadline, but rather at the draft, because again, we can't really unload any more salary without being below the floor. So as it is, I think we're below the floor right now, but I'm just going to write down trade at draft, Clutterbuck, and who else? Zeke's 3 years, 27. He's not terrible, but the contract could be better in theory. Brock Nelson, that's a good contract. Hosang, Pulock, Letty, Komarov, definitely. And then who else? Maybe Ladd. What's his contract looking like? Oh yeah, yep. Holy, that is a terrible Terrible contract. My goodness. Okay, I think everyone else is good. Yeah. So Clutterbuck, Komarov, and Ladd are priorities to trade at the draft. I'm going to put a star next to all these just to emphasize the importance, underline them as well. And then Leonard, I mean, yeah, 1.5. That's not, actually, that's a great contract for Leonard. But do we want to trade Leonard at the trade deadline is the question. To get a good value for him, especially while he's playing well. Okay, so, and then we could also technically trade Letty, I suppose, but I mean he's not a priority, so I'll write him down as well with a question mark next to his name. So, all right, so I think we'll go up to the trade deadline, and depending on where we are, I might stop there, or we'll just keep going. So Tampa lost to the Kings. Let's see. I mean, I'm not obviously expecting anything big here, and there was an opportunity to trade Komarov right there, but I'd rather do it at the draft again because we would be well below the floor. So only one win so far this month. So that's, I mean, good for the tank there. Pulak has been injured. There's our first NHL injury. We'll just replace player. I mean, there's not really too much point in doing all that. We'd have to give up a third to trade Komarov for a second. That's basically, that might end up just being, like going up 5 spots just to get a 5th round pick. No, thank you. A win against Minnesota. Komarov for a 3rd and a 4th, for a 2nd and a 3rd. I mean, I'll just wait till the draft to trade him, honestly. Unless we go on a winning streak here, which it looks like is happening. 4-game winning streak and then an overtime loss against Edmonton. Jeez. Definitely not trading any picks. Pulak, you know what? Just continue. Can't be bothered right now. Spiza, nope. Win, overtime loss. So we're getting a bunch of points right now. Devin Taves, minor leagues. Vancouver, let's see what's going to happen here. We have a trade for... okay. So we're not going to be giving up a pick here to trade Komarov to the Predators. I would have to get some salary back, though, on a 1-year deal. Because, I mean, when you take a look at our cap space, I mean, that would bring us up to 19 mil in cap available. So let's see if I could get a hefty contract here on a 1-year deal. And it does not look like it. I mean, I could get, well, that's Ellis. He's got a lot of trade value to him. If I could maybe get Iginla, that might do it. Let's see. Proposed trade. I mean, of course, because, we add more value to it. So maybe we take off the 5th. Rejected. I'll just wait till the draft. I can't be bothered to do this right now to be, trying to play with the salaries. And we're 28, 25, and 8 at the trade deadline. Do we still, in theory, have a chance at making the playoffs? I suppose, but the Blue Jackets have the wild card in our division, and then the Detroit Red Wings have the wild card in the Atlantic. So I don't like our chances of passing Columbus because they're probably going to go on a tear at the end of the season or something with their roster that they have. They probably still have Panarin and Korpisalo. I mean, obviously, I don't know what Korpisalo's overall is in this game, but they have Bobrovsky. They have, a fantastic defensive core. So what can we do here in terms of trades to acquire a draft pick potentially? I'm not trading any young players, obviously, but let's see if there's any guys like maybe Van de Sompel or something. I mean, that's barely anything, but all right, you know what? We're in a position right now where we just can't make any trades due to the salary floor. So we're just going to go ahead and just get over the rest of the season here, because I highly doubt we are making the playoffs. And if we do, it would be an absolute miracle for this team. Devin Taves, I mean, continue. Loss against Calgary, loss against Toronto. There you go. We're starting to get the L's in there. Tanner Fritz, replace player. There's a loss. Continue. There's a win. There's a loss. Philly. They're pretty bad, actually. There's a win against them. Another win against Columbus. Oh, my. Montreal, shootout loss. They're pretty terrible. Detroit, they're good, but we got to win against them, of course. Minnesota. Let's check the draft class, actually. We haven't done that in a bit. So let's see. Hughes, obviously. Bowmeister, Byram, Krebs, Doc. No one knew, I believe. Oh, Rita. Medium top 6. Okay. Let's see this. I mean, O'Mara hasn't been uncovered much at all, but Hutchinson. Jason Hutchinson. Medium elite. Guaranteed. He's good work. He has good work ethic, compete level, and maturity. Weak endurance, but you know what? Jason Hutchinson, currently ranked 80 on Central Scouting. So, that could be a good pickup right there. That's a steal if we could get him. And then Ottoson, I'll keep my eye on him just in case. Gem and bust. Let's see these. Sasha Matula is a gem, so we'll keep my eye on him as well. All right, so there's a win against Minnesota. Win against Boston. Of course, we're winning. Getting points here towards the end of the year. Are we actually going to make the playoffs? Please don't tell me this team's going to make the playoffs. Honestly, I want to get as good of a draft pick as we can. We didn't have much flexibility at the trade deadline, though, is the only thing. Florida win, oh my. You know, it looks like a bad record, 37, 34, and 11, and it kind of is, but with those 11 overtime losses, that could be, okay, good. We are 6 points out of a playoff spot. So the Capitals, Hurricanes, Jackets, and Devils made the playoffs this year in the Metro. And then the Red Wings, Panthers, Leafs, and Lightning made it in the Atlantic. So we were 6 points out behind New Jersey. Matthew Barzal with 79 points on the season. Good year for him. Eberle was 74. Is that a career high? No, it is not. He had 76 in Edmonton, but it's definitely a good season for him. Lee with 63, 33 goals for him. Bailey with 55. Ho-Sang with 40 on the third line. So, yeah, 80 overall. He's going to definitely get, or at least I would hope, get an increased role next year. Beauvillier, 38 points, 21 goals. Komarov with 34. Leddy with 33. Ladd, 32. Pulak with 23. Nelson, 21. Clutterbuck with 14. Hickey with 11. Martin with 9. Aho with 6. Helgerson with 4. Pellick with 2. And Mayfield with 2. Plus minus. Leddy plus 15. Lee plus 12. Shots, you got Eberle with 224. Lee with 216. Barzal with 183. Again, that first line just doing all the heavy lift in there. Bailey with a 16 shooting percentage. Beauvillier with a 15.4. Lee with a 15.3. Game winners, you got 8 from Beauvillier. Power play goals, 8 from Eberle and Bailey and Lee. Power play points, you got Barzal with 19. Eberle with 18. Lee with 13. Short-handed goals, you got 2 on the season. 1 from Bailey, 1 from Cizikas. And then face-offs. Beauvillier, 51.4. Cizikas, 51%. Barzal, 49.3. He definitely got better as the season got on. Or went on, I should say. Where's our other center? Oh, yeah. It's one of our wingers, isn't it? It's Nelson, right. So 45.1. He's not too good at face-offs. Hits, 161 from Lee. 153 from Komarov. 135 from Bailey. 135 from Hickey. 107 from Ladd, 102 from Letty. Blocks, Letty got 132, 113 from Hickey, 95 from Pelech, 93 from Pulock, 82 from Mayfield, 56 from Helgeson, 43 from Aho, and 34 from Beauvillier, 28 from Bailey. Giveaways and takeaways. Barzell, good ratio. Bailey, good ratio. Lee, Eberle, same thing. Beauvillier, could be better. Ho-Sang could be a little bit better, but he's still good ratio there. Letty, good for a defenseman. Ladd, good. Cizikas could be much better. Komarov could be much better. Nelson could be better, but good. As long as takeaways outweigh giveaways for forwards, I don't really mind. Hickey, I mean, that's going to happen for a defensive defenseman. And Clutterbuck could be a lot better. Mayfield could be a lot better. Pelech could be a lot better. Pula could be a lot better. Martin could be better. Helgeson, Aho, I mean, actually, Aho's a defenseman, so yeah, that's a pretty good ratio. And then fights, let's see. 4 for Martin, 3 from Mayfield and Ladd, and then 1 for Hickey. Let's see, goaltenders. 917 save percentage in 70 games played for Leonard. 9 shutouts. 923 save percentage in 18 games for Grice. And let's check the AHL. Let's see, Soderstrom. 893 save percentage. That's unfortunate. In 24 games, 12 wins. Let's take a look here. For Wallstrom, 79 points in 73 games. What a guy. Yeah, let's see. Anybody else? Bellows with 28 points in 64 games. And then defenseman, we have Bodie Wild with 19 points, leading the defensive core in points and goals. And tied for the lead in assists as well. So I would say a pretty good year for Bodie Wild. Grew in overall, 71 overall. And that reminds me, actually, let us check out the progress reports. Haven't done that in a while. Because, especially since year 5 in Seattle. We haven't done this since. So Ho-Sang grew to an 80. That's good. Barzell grew to an 87. Pulock grew to an 82. Nothing else going in the NHL. Goaltenders, nope. And then in the minors, or in the system rather, because this includes junior players, Salo to a 64. Dalcole with this to a 74. Dobson to a 76. Dobson grew a lot. Dobson. Yeah, good growth from him in the WHL, but here, or QMJHL, but here we are with the junior stats. This is what we've been waiting for a long time, boys. 46 points in 48 games for Noah Dobson. 125 shots. So we know right away how he's, or well, generally what type of player he is, and he's definitely that offensive defenseman. So hopefully he pans out. It looks like he is so far. Bodie Wild, 71. We saw him before. Dan Durando, 62. Wallstrom up to a 74. I mean, he was a 73 to start, wasn't he? So, yeah, not too much growth, but a little bit. John Stevens, 69. Bellows, 69. I think Bellows was a 68, wasn't he? At the start of the season. Yeah, he's got a little bit of growth in there. And that is about it for that. Check goaltenders. Nothing. Okay. So, is there anything else we need to do? Let's check the draft class one more time. O'Mara still that 2-bar, just not very inaccurate, but inaccurate. So can't trust that medium franchise. Hutchinson though, definitely gonna keep our eye out for Hutchinson in the draft. Who else do I want to keep my eye on? Ottoson, Cozens, Reed. I'll just pin all these guys. Yep. Carpenter might be good. Jaden Carpenter. Like Braden Shen. Yeah. Pin him. Robertson, Jaspers, Bickle. Just pinning all these guys. Budgel. Harabik. No, I didn't want to pin Peros. Harabik. And Dingman. Alright, so that's enough pinning for now. And then let's see if there's any more gems. Nope, just Machula. And then Tag Bertuzzi is apparently a bust. Okay. So that's it for the draft board. Or draft class. And that appears to be about it. So let's go over the team stats for the end of the season. We came 6th in our division, obviously. 2.56 goals for per game, 2.6 goals against per game. Power play got a lot better, 16%. Penalty kill stayed relatively the same all year, 80.3. And last 10, 4, 4, and 2. So, I mean, it's pretty much what we expected, right? I wasn't honestly expecting to make the playoffs, and, you know, I doubt anyone else was expecting this team to make the playoffs either. But that being said, we did get some good growth from our young guys here, Burzell and guys in the AHL and in juniors. So we're just going to keep improving this team little by little, and hopefully we'll be in the playoffs within a couple of years. So that'll be about it for this one. Let me know what we should do for the draft. Actually, okay, I was about to end it up, but before we do, let's go up to the day before the draft, just so we know where we are picking. And the playoffs have ended, and the Stanley Cup champions are the LA Kings, and the Calder Cup goes to the Manitoba Moose. So let's see where we're picking here. And it will be, let's see. Come on, give us a good one. Give us a good one. We are picking 12th. Okay, we can work with that. We can definitely work with that. Let's see the draft class just to see who is supposed to go 12th. So Hughes, Bowmeister, we're going to miss out on these guys. Krebs, Byram, Dak, Rita. So Ragnarsson is supposed to go 12th. He doesn't look that bad. Good goal scorer, pro release, offensive instincts, like Theo Fleury. And his stats aren't exactly impressive. Over 47 games played, but that isn't a men's league with the SHL, so we'll pin Ragnarsson, we'll pin Powell. All those guys around that area. Glebov, Suzuki, Poulin. Poulin might not be too bad. So really any of these guys from, I would say, 9 to Robertson are guys who we could realistically target for our pick. So let me know what we should do for the draft. And we definitely have to trade Clutterbuck, Komarov, and Ladd, presuming they don't retire here, which would be fantastic. New York Islanders, Bernier retired. I mean, big deal. All right, so, and, oh, here's a new one. Retired players that are now a scout. Johan Franzen for the Red Wings, Clarkson for the Golden Knights, and UC Jokinen for the Sabres. Okay. Cool feature right there. And let me know what we should do in the draft other than trade those 3 guys. As far as picks goes, as far as just getting young players. See you guys in the next one.